Welcome back to Helpful Tips for a Healthy Life. Today we're going to make ginger turmeric tea. And the reason that we're making ginger turmeric tea is because it is phenomenal to help with inflammation and pain and digestion. So if you are coming down with a cold or a flu, we get those uncomfortable feelings in the stomach, and there's inflammation that happens with an illness, especially with a cold or the flu. And the turmeric and the ginger are so powerful in being able to decrease that inflammation. And it's a hot tea, so it just soothes and feels so good inside. So this is what you will need to get started making your own ginger turmeric tea at home. You will have to have a mason jar or some kind of heat-proof jar, because we're going to shred the ginger and the turmeric. We're going to put that inside of the mason jar, and then we're going to add boiling water to that. So if your container is not heat proof, you are going to have a horrible mess on your hands and probably end up burning yourself. And so make sure it is heat proof. So first thing we're going to do is put our water on the stove to boil. So I've already got my water here, and I'm just going to turn it on to high and let that get started. And while that's getting started, I'm going to show you this piece of ginger. So ginger normally comes looking something like this, with these little thumbs that grow off at the side of it. It just will look like a little bit of a hand, and then it just has this thumb. And so, oh, my water's almost ready. And so this thumb, you just break that off. You can just break it off at the grocery store and get just this little piece, or do what I did, get a huge piece that had this thumb and a couple other additional thumbs, and I just break it off as I need it. So you're going to peel the ginger, and this is completely peeled except for this little place right here. So I'm going to continue peeling that. So you'll also need a potato peeler. You can use a spoon, just use the edge of the spoon to peel ginger. It works well, but I find that using a potato peeler, a vegetable peeler, works much better. So now you may be asking yourself, why is she wearing gloves, and why is this one already all stained in yellow? Because turmeric, and this is turmeric, peeled on this side, not peeled on this side. Turmeric is very staining. So you want to wear gloves when you're doing this, or all of your fingers and fingernails will be stained, and it takes about a week for that to work itself off. It also will stain your graters, your knife when you're cutting it. So make sure you get that into hot soapy water right away so it can soak. Otherwise, it's going to stain. If you don't care, I really don't care if my graters get stained, but if you do care, get it into hot soapy water right away. So the same thing with this one. We've grated all of the turmeric all of the way around. And when you purchase this at the store, it'll look like this. It looks just like this. This is a pretty fat one. Usually it's about the thickness of an index finger. So this one is pretty big, and they just come about that length. So you're just going to peel the peeling off on this one. And again, I like to use a vegetable peeler. Some people prefer a spoon, the edge of a spoon. And then once that is all peeled off, you are going to take, it doesn't matter the order, but I like to start with my ginger. You're going to take your ginger and your grater, and you're just going to grate it. And so you're going to do the same exact thing with the turmeric. You'll grate the whole entire thing. I just don't think you need to see me grating the whole entire thing. And then you're going to grate the turmeric. It can get a little bit messy, but then you just pick up all of those lovely pieces and put them back on here. So with the magic of, television, I already have my ginger and my turmeric already grated and ready to go. My water is boiling, it's ready to go. So now what I'm going to do is take my heat-proof, boiling water, heat-proof mason jar. I'm going to take the ginger and I'm going to put that inside of the jar. All of it, so that this whole entire piece that was grated, we put all of that inside of the jar, and then I'm going to add the turmeric. There we go. Now we can take off our gloves. Now with turmeric, you want to add just a couple shakes of black pepper, or if you have a pepper mill, just a couple little grinds right inside of the jar. So I'm just gonna give it 1, 2, 3, 4 for lot 5. 5 little grinds. So the pepper helps work with the turmeric. It releases more of its properties. So ginger, turmeric, black pepper on top, and then I do like to use a funnel because I don't like getting burnt. My water is boiling, it's still steaming, so I'm gonna take my hot steaming water, I'm going to pour it directly on top of the ginger, turmeric, and pepper. And isn't it, guys, just such a beautiful color. Perfect. So my funnel's gonna be really hot because that's metal. And then we just let this sit for 24 hours and let it pull all of the properties, all of the medicinal qualities out of the ginger and the turmeric. And then in the morning, 24 hours later, you're going to get a strainer and some kind of a bowl. And you're going to, because we want to strain off the ginger and the turmeric. You can leave it in there, it will settle at the bottom, but it's a lot easier if you just strain it off after 24 hours. So then all you do is you take your jar. Now I'm gonna use little mitts because, oh, tell me you can't see inside of my cupboard. I'm gonna use these little mitts because this is gonna be hot. Normally this would be cold because I've let it sit for 24 hours, but I just want to show you how to do this. Then you're just gonna take this, you're gonna pour it right into your strainer. And again, the juice is probably going to stain your strainer. So make sure that it's a strainer that you're not worried about, or get it into hot water right away. So you just let this ginger, turmeric strain off of there. Once that's completely drained off, I like to take a spoon, and I don't have a spoon here. I like to take a spoon and I like to just press down and make sure I'm getting out all of the good juice. I don't like wasting any of it. Then put that aside, and then you take your ginger turmeric tea that is cold, but I'm having to use gloves. Remember, mine is still hot. And pour it back into the jar you just emptied, or into a clean jar. That's completely up to you. Since my ginger turmeric's not done, I'm gonna pour it right back into the jar that I've already used. Now remember, this is already cold because you have let it sit out for 24 hours. Once you have it strained and poured back into a jar, put a lid on it, just a little mason lid, put that on top of it, close it up, put it in the refrigerator, and then every day enjoy just a regular teacup size of ginger turmeric tea. It is amazing how good you will feel and how it helps with your illness and the inflammation.